What's up everyone, Black Soul Beats here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a producer from Orange County, California, and I drop new music every other day. So please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy that kind of content. So for today's video, I'm going to be looking at a Roddy Ricch type beat that I made. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the main melody of the beat, and the beat itself is in the key of G sharp minor. So the main melody is basically a run up and down the G sharp minor scale. I'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. Although I really like the vibe of that melody, I decided to add counter melody and a slightly lower registered, and I did just that using a guitar. So let me go ahead and show you guys what that sounds like. Together with the main melody, you have this. In my opinion, that definitely makes the melody sound a lot fuller. It makes it sound like there's more movement going on with that melody, so I really like the final result. Next, we're going to be looking at, in my opinion, what drives the drum section, what I always start with when working on the drums, and that is going to be the 808 pattern. It's a pretty basic pattern, but at the same time there is some movement. I'm basically just following the root notes of the melody. So let me go ahead and play you guys that so you can hear how that sounds. Gives it a lot of movement. And the next thing we're going to be looking at is the kick pattern, which just mirrors the 808 pattern. Although I did take and add a few kicks here and there, but I'll go ahead and play that for you. Together with the 808, it sounds something like this. Now keep in mind, it is sidechained to the 808. You want to make sure to always sidechain your kicks and your 808s, because otherwise they'll clash. I've seen people suggest basically inching your 808s forward a little bit, which kind of achieves the same effect but can lead to some issues. So I always just prefer sidechaining, the sidechaining method. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that explain that, although I will make a video explaining my sidechaining process in the future. So the next thing is the hi-hats. The hi-hats are following a pretty simple two-step pattern. I did go ahead and play around with some rolls and different kind of changes in the hi-hats, and then I decided that the best thing to do for this beat was just a simple two-step pattern. Also, something I did add was an open hi-hat hitting at certain points of the beat. I try to keep it real sparse with open hi-hats because they take up a lot of space sonically, a lot of space in kind of the higher frequencies. But it's definitely good to use them as an accent, and there are some cool things you can do with them. Next, I just did a pretty basic trap clap. And I did layer a little bit of a lo-fi snare in there. I do with my Roddy Ricch type beats, simply because it gives it a little bit more interest. It makes it a little bit more interesting than just a simple clap pattern. So let me show you guys what that sounds like together with the clap. I also, the next thing that I did want to add is crashes to accent the beginning of the hook and the middle of the hook. In my experience, crash cymbals that work best in this kind of scenario are not as heavy as you would hear in rock or metal or anything like that. They're a little bit more shrill. Yeah, I think that's the word. I will go ahead and show you guys what I mean. And I definitely added some reverb to make it a little bit softer, and I made sure not to turn it up. Be careful with your crashes because they can take up a lot of room in your frequency spectrum. And also another tip that I have when it comes to crash cymbals is don't pan them hard left or hard right. If you are going to pan them, make it very subtle. Me personally, I keep them centered. It just kind of gives the beat a harder drop. It makes it less disorienting when the beat actually drops. So now that I basically went over all of the elements, I'm going to show you guys how they sound together, and then I'll go into a little bit of the actual mixing, and we'll wrap this video up. So basically that's what the beat sounds like with all of the elements together. I will show you guys how the drums sound by themselves as well. So I didn't do anything too crazy mix wise. As always, I recommend that the #1 thing you can do in terms of mixing is to make sure that your bass sounds, that your sounds that you're using are quality, because it's really hard to polish difficult sounds or the sounds that you kind of find on the internet. Not that it can't be done, there's plenty of good sounds out there that are free, but honestly you have to invest a little into some good sound packs, or at least into splice, to make sure that you're getting quality sound. Here for the main sample, all I did was add a little bit of RC20. Let me go ahead and isolate that. And then I did EQ it pretty harshly, just because I didn't want a lot of low end coming in, since I was going to use that counter melody. For the counter melody, I just left it as is and just basically leveled it. Let's see, everything else was really just leveling. The kick and the 808 were sidechained. The hi-hat was panned about 33% to the left, and the open hi-hat was panned about 23% to the right. Snare was centered, kick was centered, 808 was centered, and again everything was really just leveled. The only real crazy effects were on the main melody with that RC20 and with quite a bit of reverb. Other than that, it's pretty simple leveling. Really goes to show that a lot of the quality in mixing has to do with your source sounds and with leveling. So let me go ahead and play it from the beginning. I went ahead and added a low pass filter to the beginning that slowly fades out. I automated it fading out, and then the drop hits. When the drop hits, the low pass filter gets cut off. So that basically does it for this beat breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something from this. So please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. Thanks again for watching, and you have yourself a great day. Peace.